Welcome to the Stay Ready Real Estate Podcast, where we stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I'm your host, Emeka, and in each episode, I'll be breaking down real estate topics to help you find and lock in your first deal. This podcast is all about building wealth through real estate, and the best part, you don't need a lot of money to get started. So let's jump right into it. What's going on, family? It's your boy, Emeka, and today we're going to talk about a lovely topic, something that's up to par with how the week is going, and it is all about rolling with the punches. As a real estate investor, you're going to get hit in the mouth a lot. There's going to be curveballs thrown at you, inspectors halting progress, people trying to come after you. There's going to be so many punches that you're not going to prepare for. But it's not really about the punches. It's about how you get up from the punches, how you react to the punches, right? Because there's so many different people out there who have so many different avenues to buying a deal, how they view life, how they handle their own emotions, how they handle feelings, how they handle a lot of stuff. But in real estate, if you can't be calm and collected, that might be an issue, right? And you have to understand that curveballs are going to happen. I am somewhat experienced. I've bought a property every single year since 2020. Every single year since 2020. I haven't stopped. And every single deal was different. Every single deal I got punched in the mouth somehow, some way. However, I'm still here today investing in real estate, telling you that it is still the greatest investment of all time, right? And what could these punches be? What could these curveballs be, right? I can give you an example. I'm working on a flip in Central Florida in Hillsborough County. We knew that we need to get the electrical done. So we hired a licensed contractor, a licensed electrician specifically, and hired him, paid good money. He fails his inspection. And yes, we've heard of people failing your inspection often. However, with the way our house was set up, we had to cut in the drywall because there was no attic. So now all of our drywall is exposed, and with a failed inspection, we can't replace the drywall, we can't close it up, we can't get the painting done, we can't really clean up too much because we're about to cut some more drywall to put the new drywall on. There's not much interior work that can be done. As well as we have a plumbing inspection going on at the same time, so we can't move any fixtures, we can't do any of those kinds of things. On top of that, we had a failed inspection, right? So we have to stop work and wait because there's a failed inspection and there's too much going on, right? So the failed inspection happened because we had the electrician who drilled into our load-bearing wall, who had to get another engineer to prove that drilling into this load-bearing wall is not going to be an issue for the home. Fun, right? I'm not an electrician, but I do know that load-bearing walls are very important, so I don't know why they would do that. However, 3 to 4 weeks later, which on top of that, that's 3 to 4 weeks that we can't move forward. We finally passed, right? Very unexpected. And then in the meantime, while the inspector is looking around, he's looking at every other thing that we're doing and is threatening us to stop all progress because we have a failed electrical inspection, and apparently that means we can't do this, we can't do that. There was some debate about if we can add a wall. There's just basically it opened up a can of worms that we were not prepared for. However, what do we have to do? We have to sit and wait. We have to pivot. We have to work on the exterior. We have to do what we can to somehow provide progress on this project, because what happened to us happened to us. So no matter how we feel about it, no matter what our emotions are, what happened. We have to continue to move forward. And we did, and we are, and it's not as easy, and it's no fun, but that is what real estate investing is about, right? Handling the punches and being able to navigate, right? Because you are a business executor, so business execution is very important in this space, and that is what handling punches are about, right? Everyone has a plan until they punch in the mouth. Shout out to my man, Mike Tyson, right? And along with that, you have to understand how to be calm and collected. This is unbothered. Right? The way I am talking is calm and collected. That experience I just gave you, it is a thorn on my side. We still have the property. We're still about to sell this. There's a lot of things still going on with this property that is no fun, but it is what it is. It is what it is. No matter if it was really good or really bad, right? No matter what, time keeps moving forward. And I can't get too high because it might be great that we're about to put it fail. But I also can't get low knowing that, we're not going to make the expected the money that we originally made. But life goes on. We have to continue to push because if no one really is a failure unless they quit and can't quit. And this is me talking calmly, right? Those things can happen. You can have emotions about it, right? That cannot taste good, cannot feel good, knowing that there might be a deal that might not be as good. However, unbothered would be concerning, right? Calm and collected is understanding what is in front of you, understanding that it may not be okay, it may be, right? So just because you're calm doesn't mean you can't feel that. However, being unbothered is a concerning piece. Because being unbothered is like having a house burn around you and you're just like, it's whatever. Something is going to stick, which may be true, but you shouldn't be in this game. Because you should always be and have the most amount of attention on what's going on and understand the reality of your situation, no matter how good or bad, right? If it's good and you're unbothered, it's okay to be happy. It is okay to go spend $12 on a drink as a celebration. It is okay, but don't act willy-nilly, right? You have to feel what's going on. You have to understand what we're looking for long term. We have to understand that this is real stuff. This is real money. This is something that could affect me financially, personally. If something forecloses, bad things can happen. So don't be unbothered. Don't just not care what's going on, which is what I feel unbothered is. Care. Just understand the situation and understand how to execute, right? There are punches you can plan for and there's punches you can't. But the reality is we must focus on what we can control. We have to control what we can control. And that is the biggest thing that I've learned, right? I can't control a buyer's bank, right? I can give them as much information that I have on the property. I can tell them what's going on, provide documentation, but I can't control them. I can't control appraisers who may want to appraise lower than their worth, right? How do you pivot? How do you come from that? How do we move forward the best way possible, right? And it's about rolling with the punches and quickly executing, quickly figuring a way to determine your business plan, what your end goal is, and understand that it is what it is. Until next time. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, make sure you like and subscribe so you never miss when a new one drops. And if you're loving this content, come join me over on YouTube. My link is down below in the comments. I take you behind the scenes of my real life as a real estate investor. You get to see inside my flips, my rentals. You get to see the full journey of me growing from basically 33 units to 100 units, which is the goal I'm shooting for. No highlight reels, no sugarcoating, just a real thing. See you next week.